Donovan, wow, what a season. What a rookie season for you. When you look back, what stands out to you the most?
Man, there's so many things, you know, from the draft day to the first game to the first playoff game to All-Star weekend. There's so many different things, but, you know, as a whole, we fought. It's been a crazy ride, you know, and a year ago, like a year and 4 days ago, I declared for the draft officially.
So you are going to the Jazz. What's your reaction to that?
Oh man, I'm excited. Like, to be honest with you, I feel like I went through 3 years of my life in this 1 year, you know, just having to grow up on the court, off the court, you know, so fast, you know, whether it's from being noticed on the street a lot more here in different cities, being the go-to guy, you know, on the court, you know, and just there's so many things that I've had to adjust to that happened so fast in these past 9 months, and it's been a whirlwind.
When you look back, what was the moment when you realized, wow, I really have grown a lot?
The playoffs, for sure. The playoffs, the entire playoffs. You know, I think it started with game 2. Or no, game 1. You know, made my first 4 shots, and I was like calm. Like I was surprisingly very calm. You know, and that's never happened in my life. You know, I'm always anxious and nervous and uptight. I was really not nervous, not freaking out, just treating it like a regular game. And I was like, that's when I knew mentally that I was in a different level than I was to start the season.
Wow, that's really amazing to hear that, because I would have thought after that 40-plus point performance.
I was still like in my head a kid, you know, on the court. I still am, but you know, I feel like I've grown a lot more, and you know, it's taken a long time. You know, if I watch film from the 41-point game, there's so many things that I did then that now wouldn't even be a thought to do, like whether I'm rushing or, you know, taking bad shots. You know, I still take some bad shots, but just the shot selection, that part of me has grown so much, and you know, and I have a lot more growing to do, but I'm definitely happy with the way things have turned out.
How did you manage to do it all?
Man, I just thank God, you know, to be honest, and my mom, you know, that definitely helped me out, just staying calm and relaxed and not really, I think the biggest thing is, you know, when you look at the bigger picture in the moment and you think of it like, man, I'm doing all this, that's when it starts to become taxing and it starts to tire you out. But if you look at it from day to day, you know, and take it day by day, that was what was able to get me through.
Something you said from the beginning that kind of took you by surprise. Not knowing where you would end up, and then now doing what you've done this season. How much has it surprised you?
When it happens, like, there's no way. Like, that's my thought. Like, there's no way. Like, all right, I scored 41. There's no way it can happen again. You know, I did it again. Yeah. All right, I made it to All-Star weekend. There's no way I win the slam dunk contest. You know, like, there's so many things that I've never given myself enough credit, and I won't. You know, that's kind of what keeps me going. But there's just so many things that, like, there's no way this can keep going, and as long as God's here, I'm here for the ride. So I'm here to enjoy it and have fun.
You mentioned you somewhat feed off of the negativity, and you are very hard on yourself, as I know. You're always the guy that says, hey, I could have done something else. I could have done something more. Where does that come from?
I've been doubted my whole life. The one thing I always tell people, like, I remember everything. You know, it may seem like I forget, but I remember all, and especially the negative. I remember more negative than the positive. That way it keeps me working and continue to grow.
Do you feel like you've been proving people wrong? Or you have proved people wrong?
I'd like to think so. I got a lot more people to prove wrong in my head, but I feel like there's always going to be something that's going to be like, oh, you suck, or you're not good, or you're not this, you're not that. And there's always going to be something that drives me, but I feel like I've proved a good amount of people wrong. You know, the people that said I couldn't play point guard, and people said I couldn't shoot, and you know, the little things that I heard coming into the draft, you know, and I got to get much better at those things as well, for sure. But it's after looking at this whole year, you know, realize, you know, I'm not satisfied, but I am satisfied with what I've done this year. But there's a lot more to do, but there's a lot more proven to do as well.
You mentioned that your confidence comes from this team. How unique and special was this group?
I don't think you ever find a team like this, you know, ever, you know, and it's my first year in the NBA, and I'm pretty certain that that's the case. You know, we genuinely like care about each other. We genuinely, everybody from player who plays the most minutes, who plays the least. And I think that plays into our character and our identity because we genuinely care about each other and our team's success first before our individual success.
Now that you've wrapped up your rookie year, I know it still hasn't hit you yet, but what's the summer like for you after a rookie year?
Work. I think this is a sign from God that I need to rest a little bit on my foot, but work, nonstop. There's so many things that I can improve on, the shots and reads that haven't made this year that I want to be able to make next year confidently, passes that I want to be able to be comfortable throwing, shots I would be comfortable taking, and efficiency. There's so many things I can go down the line and break down what I want to work on, and defense, as well. But this is gonna be. I'm gonna enjoy it. My family and friends, but it's time to get down to work.
Well, Dennis Lindsay was saying today that you and Rudy, the cornerstones of this franchise.
To be up there and being in that conversation, to even be mentioned is an honor in itself, and it's just a show of hard work. But I got a lot, like I said, I have a lot more work to do. But we get like Rudy told me after the game, we'll be fine and we'll be back, and this is just the beginning.
What was the greatest moment this year for you?
Game 6, probably. Game 6 was just winning the playoff series against a team like that was crazy. People say we weren't gonna make the playoffs. We did that, and we won, and we weren't supposed to win. And that was huge. Game 6 is probably probably the biggest accomplishment of the team this year, or the 11-game winning streak, whatever one you feel. But the Game 6 was awesome.
Hard-fought series. Without Rubio, Donovan lifts the Jazz with 38 points, and he holds off Westbrook and the Thunder.
One of the greatest performances by a rookie, Donovan Mitchell.